Hi everyone, here we are again with another episode of This Week in Fantasy Rugby. We're heading closer and closer to the end of the season and also to the start of the Lions Tour and the Summer Internationals. As yet, still no sign of a Lions Tour fantasy game, but if anything appears, you'll hear about it here first. This week, we're taking a look at last week's Premiership, URC and Super Rugby fantasy performances, also taking a look at how people are getting on in the FRG leagues. And then we'll take a look ahead to this week's Super Rugby games and the Champions Cup final. Let's get stuck in. Okay, kicking off with the Prem, and it was a good week for both my fantasy teams, both on DreamXV, Rugby and Super Brew. And actually, it was a good team across all competitions for me for Super Brew. I got over 200 points in each of the teams, which for me is the benchmark of any good week. If you get over 200 points on Super Brew, you're doing pretty well. So in Prem on Super Brew, I ended up on 222 points. I had some great performances from Caden Murley, Calaveti Rabalval, Seb Atkinson, Marcus Smith, all getting over 20 points. Then we had Tom Willis and Ben Earl with 19 points each. I went with Christian Wade as my captain, slightly disappointing. He only got 12 points, so 24 after the captain bonus. But I can live with that. So with that score, I've had quite a few green arrows and now I'm up to 202 in the world. Taking a look at the Fantasy Rugby Geek League for the Premiership, so quick look at the top 10. Leading the way currently is STJ Coley with his beaten black, blue and white team. Then we've got Paul and his Green Swallows, Adros's Nitwits RFC, and then following up we've got Uni Viala, Joe Tarring, Parkwin, R Duncan 8, Trasler Matt, Alf and Rory. Then over to URC, 238 points for me on Super Brew. The guys who really delivered for me were Darcy Graham with 30.5 points, Suleiman Hartenberg with 34 points, Shane Bolton 20 points, Jack Walsh 26.5 points, Keegan Johannes, who was actually playing at fly half and kicking in my scrum half position, a nice little hack there, 18.5 points. Cameron Hannacombe was my captain. He got 29 points, which was decent enough. Could have probably gone for a better captain option, but still, I'll take that. So again, green arrows for my URC team, up to 145th in the world at the moment. So into the FRG League, looking at the top 10, in top place, we've got Wilco with his unbelievable Scorpions. Then we got the Locks Are Loaded, that's Colin Flaherty's team. Una Viala, again in third place. Then we've got Lizelot, Keith, Seeley, FCB, Frowdy, Jean, and a boy named Stu. Over to Super Rugby, starting with Super Brew, I ended up on 226.5 points. Top scorers this week for me were Tom Wright on 22.5 points, Cam Roygard with a huge 30 points. I had Ardi Tavere as my captain. He got 53 points, including the captain doubler. And then good performances from Tom Hooper and Ratamatavaki Neatkins. Over to the Super Rugby FRG League table. Quick look at the top 10. Leading the way, it's Colin Flaherty, who's actually number 1 in the world on Super Brew at the moment. Then we've got H. Burr, the Flying Dutchman, Yippee Try Yay, Jack Sully 10, Frowdy, a boy named Stu, Shongalolo, Salau, and Sam in the top 10. Over to the official game now, and it was another good week for my team. I ended up on 629 points, again, rising up the leagues. My top performers this week, Tom Robertson with 43 points, Ardi Surveyor with a huge 78 points, Cam Roygard with a massive 86 points, Jacob Ratamakavuki, Neatkins 45 points, Sever Reese 63 points, and Ruben Love was my captain with 104 points with the captain bonus. A good score. I'm currently sitting at 171 in the world. Taking also a quick look at the FRG League. We've got the Connacht crew, Colin Flaherty's team up there. So Colin is now number 1 in the world on Super Brew and number 2 in the world on the official game. He knows what he's doing. He could make it a double this weekend. In second place, we've got Speed Mode. Then we've got Laker Luca, a load of flankers. We've got my team. We've got Jack Sully, Aidan Collins Rugby, Reese's Piece, Andrew Ewing, and Chundalicious making up the top 10. The last word on round 14 of Super Rugby goes to Fantasy Rugby Draft. It was the Championship Playoff and Sacco Playoff first leg round in most FRD leagues. And one of the big leagues that I'm in is the league run by Andrew Howard of FRTV, the FRTV Legends. Now I just happen to be playing Andrew in the Sacco playoffs. Huge matchup, and unfortunately he took the upper hand in the first match. I was stung by Danny Tawala being hooked at the last minute, so 0 points for him. Also slightly disappointing was George Bauer on 4.2 points. Rob Leota, he got injured and taken off early, only 7.7 points. Kieran Tamafalau got a hat trick, but he only got 31 points. I feel he should have probably got a bit more than that. Andrew, on the other hand, he had Sevu Reece, he had Tom Wright, he had Brad Shields, Langy Gleeson, Nick Frost, all putting in big scores. So I've got some ground to make up in round 2. He's losing quite a few of his players with Brumbies on a bye, but he's still managed to get a full team out for round 2. This is how we're looking. I think I have the upper hand in terms of the players I've got, but I've also got 60 points to make up. It's going to be tight. Stay tuned for more details. Okay, on to this week, and we have round 15 of Super Rugby, and we have the Champions Cup final. Kicking off with Super Rugby, this week we have 3 teams on a bye, with the Brumbies, the Blues and the Drua all on bye weeks, leaving 4 matches that are being played. The 2 teams that I've got my eye on from a fantasy perspective are the Chiefs and the Crusaders. The Chiefs are at home to Moana Pacifica, whilst the Crusaders are at home to the out-of-form Highlanders. In terms of the players that I've got my eye on this week, kicking off with Sevu Reece of Crusaders. He began the season absolutely flying. He went off the boil a bit in the middle, but now he's picking up his form again with a brilliant round 14 performance against the Waratahs, in which he scored a try, made 2 assists and carried for 88 metres. The stage is set for him to have a massive performance in round 15. Then I've got Damian McKenzie. So DMAC has got a great fixture this week against Moana, and he's going to be fresh after last week's bye for the Chiefs. Expect him to work his magic, and if you still have the co-captain booster in the official game, then this could be the week to play it on both Sevu Reece and Damian McKenzie. Next up, Leroy Carter. He was back in the tries in round 13. Carter scored 5 tries this season, and this could be the perfect opportunity for him again to get stuck into the points. Quinn Tupaia, probably the best centre option in the game this week. He's got a great matchup and he should get the full 80. He's not scored a try since week 3, but this could be the round to change all that. And then finally, Ardy Surveyor. I'm starting to run out of words to say about Ardy. In round 14 against the Blues, he was just everywhere and he did everything. He's just a phenomenal player who needs to be in your team, home and away, no matter who he's playing against. Over to the Champions Cup final in Super Brew. Now, generally, I hate finals when it comes to fantasy rugby. Obviously, there's only one game to choose from, so the pool of players to choose from is really low, and generally everybody has the same players. But anyway, should be a great game at the Principality in Cardiff. It's just worth sitting back and enjoying. The bookies have made Bordeaux the favourites, giving them a 7-point handicap in the handicap betting. But if the semi showed us anything, is that you can't rule out the underdogs. A reminder in this round that on Super Brew for the final, you have 8 transfers that you can make, which will be needed if, like me, you went a bit heavy on Leinster and Toulouse for the semi-finals. You also have no team limits, so if you want a full squad of Bordeaux players, you can just do it. So looking into the players that I'll be looking at for the finals, kicking off with Louis Bielbieri. This would be the perfect end to the perfect season for LBB across all competitions this season, both internationally and at club level. He scored 31 tries in 27 appearances. He's played 14 matches in 2025, and in only one of those has he failed to score. Absolutely insane numbers. Then we've got Damien Penaud. Penaud's form has been nowhere near that of LBB recently, with no tries in the last 3 games, but you can never count out a player with the ability of Damien Penaud. If anyone's capable of creating something out of nothing, it's him. Then we've got Mathieu Jalibert. In the final, it's often about the kicking, and in recent games, it's Jalibert who's taken on the kicking duty for Bordeaux. But he's way more than that, an outstanding attacking threat who's a try danger as well. He has the all-round game to transfer into fantasy points. Henry Pollock's just in explosive form right now, and he continues to get better and better. He scored 8 tries in his last 8 appearances for club and country, and he's comfortably the highest fantasy potential back row in game, and probably the best value player in the game at just €3 million. And then finally, Tommy Freeman, like Pollock, another player in outstanding form with 15 tries in his last 11 matches for club and country. If anyone's going to break through the Bordeaux defence, it's him. So enjoy the Champions Cup final. As always, more details are over at fantasyrugbygeek.com, where my full round 15 picks are now live and where my Champions Cup picks will be posted on Friday. So that's it. As always, make sure you get your teams in, and good luck.